Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour, where we meet at the appointed and sacred time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have going on at the moment? Well, my belief is a few things. We've got a variety of confluence event, or confluence of events. And part of that is the Treasury working extremely hard to get the dollar down, to get the market moving. That may be part and parcel of the timing of the Mobileye IPO that priced last night at, I think, $880 million is what they raised, which is not that much. But that would price all the shares at $17 billion. This is what's known as a sliver deal in the industry, and that means they know that they can't get the whole thing out. But what they'll do is over the next year, all the biggest pigs of the market will put their snout in and start telling everybody how this thing is a $100 billion company, and you need to get in now. Meanwhile, they'll be pushing out slowly as many shares as they can. And their hope is that they can get those shares out and sold to somebody else as the backers of the IPO before the jig is up. But I don't know. Everybody believes that they've got some kind of magic. Every time in self-driving cars, every time I've seen it, there's been a glaring error. In software development, it's called edge cases, and that is things you don't run across all the time. And the old saying is you don't know what you don't know, and that is a problem when you run over bicyclists, motorcyclists, when you turn into the side of semis because they're all painted black down the side, so it thinks there's nothing in front of it. There's a ton of different things going on. Of course, after the bell tonight, we've got Metamucil, so we'll see what they're doing. Of course, probably a little pale after Google and Microsoft. We'll take a quick look. Microsoft was probably the better of the two as far as content. You did gap lower, and you're holding lower. But I think yesterday, a couple of days, over the last few days, I wasn't wildly optimistic for these. I think they pretty much had gotten up to the previous highs, but about the same volume. You certainly have more volume to the downside. You are back at support, which is this kind of a little small gap higher and then closed lower that then gapped up the next day on the 17th of October. That was 28 million shares. You got 58 today, but you're not closing at the lows. The news probably wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was. Now on Google, it was bad. On Microsoft, you could just say it was maybe a weak quarter. I don't know how you can say that with Google. They've got problems with their ad model, and those ad model problems are just going to get worse. You do have looming competitors in this space, not for search, but for YouTube. And my guess is those are going to, as they continue to act stupidly with censorships on platforms like YouTube, more of these others are starting to come along. Of course, we've got the Twitter thing. Supposedly someone told me that deal closes on Friday with Musk. I think there's a lot more going on, and of course a lot of looming regulation and or decisions by the Supreme Court on some of these. But I know a lot of the biggest channels on YouTube, some of them that I followed and tend to watch them, have some real problems. You never know what's going to set those semi-mentally ill folks off at Google and cancel your channel. Now, they'll all say that there's good reasons for it, but I've seen people with cooking shows and lawyers get booted off YouTube just because its algorithm isn't what they want or some other reasons. And I think that's starting to catch up with them. Also, the incessant amount of ads that these guys are running. They're trying to get everybody to use do the short form stuff like TikTok, and it really just they do it 3 times as bad and more obnoxiously for their ad content. And as ad prices drop, they continue to just add more ads. I don't think that is a sustainable long-term goal. So I think that eventually a lot of these stocks are going to get cleaned out, and we're finally going to have new leadership and management in these companies, but it's probably going to take another year. I think a lot of the decisions in the Supreme Court for companies like Google and Facebook, Metamucil, will be good for it long term. Short term, problematic. Anyway, ad revenue down at the Googler, and of course also the cloud revenue down also. 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com, and of course you can always put a message in the den. Let's see. Okay, it's got that. We've got about a minute left. Why don't we just do a little history, and then we'll get on to charts on the next segment.
A little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1861, only 2 days after the Transcontinental Telegraph Line opened, the Pony Express ceases operation. Prior to the opening of the cross-country telegraph line, the Pony Express was the fastest way to send communications between St. Louis, Missouri, and San Francisco, California. And, of course, as they built the telegraph, more and more of the Pony Express was taken off. So, really, I think they only had like 20 riders by the time that 1961 rolled around. It was about it. And, of course, technology will always improve and change existing business models. But I think everybody probably knew this one was written on the wall. Not only does it take 30 days to move your letter across, it was massively expensive. I think that the cost to send a message was about 10% of what it was to mail it. On this day in 1861. We'll be back in a minute.
Teddy Kegstad has just announced a live webinar coming up for subscribers to his newsletter, The Tiger Forex Report. Wednesday, October 26th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Teddy will be hosting a live 60-minute webinar, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report newsletter. In this 60-minute webinar, Teddy will be discussing a full breakdown of the markets that influence currency pairs, as well as applying those variables to individual currency pairs, how to evaluate trading scenarios for risk versus reward, as well as a live question and answer session. Sign up now and gain instant access to this live webinar coming up, as well as a month subscription to Teddy's Tiger Forex Report, which comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Don't miss out on this live webinar event with Teddy Kegstad, Wednesday, October 26th. Sign up now for the Tiger Forex Report at the front page of TFNN.com.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month. And try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors. Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And as we get back, we'll go through these as fast as possible. See how many we can get to in this hour. If you have any questions, you can always email me at path@tfnn.com. Of course, you can put a message in the den. And you could write me a letter, I guess. Just wouldn't get it answered today. To ADM Supermarket to the World. And you got a breakout. I don't think food's going down anytime soon. Broke through the 92.26 high of September 9th that had 3.7 million shares. You may be a little light on that, but it certainly looks like it's going to hold it. What else do we have? Pony Express. I'll answer your question the first of the year. Another breakout. Agilsys. AGYS. I'll have to look at this one more today, but certainly, very certainly, you got the only thing you don't have is the volume. We'll look at that. Ameriprise Financial also trying to break out. Unsure whether or not you're going to be able to hold the 292.99 high. That is the last major high around this area on August 18th. So that'll be a good one to check. BIIB. Just retesting the highs, but man, on very light volume. So that is scary. BXP. Boston Properties. Not much movement on its news. That may be after the bell, though. I'm not sure. Boyd Gaming's got a nice doji about halfway into the gap down of the 13th of September. That had 1.14 million shares. You got about 1.8, but at least not a bad day. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. Well, Chubb did open up higher. Didn't have the volume. It looks like it's going to close back in the trading range. That's not good. Timors. Don't see much in that one. Let's take a look at Cleveland Cliffs. Just in the center, so not much going on. Man, were they flogging this one yesterday and into earnings. Gap down. It's going to have some decent volume. My guess is that you've got an open low back here at 1442. The day that they had the Columbus sailed the Ocean Blue. That was 1692. But 1442 works too. He just didn't sail then. October 11th is that big low with 437,000 shares. You got 683,000 shares already. I got something ticking, but I'm not exactly sure what. I don't see any other news out here. So we shall see. Okay. In phase. See any movement on this one? A nice bounce on this one. Of course, this is a company that makes power converters to turn AC into DC and DC into AC. But of course, invaluable for the EV car these days. Nice move, decent volume. 324. The September 8th high. That's $324.84. Looks like this is probably where it's headed. And with the energy policy coming to a complete and abrupt halt, probably right after the election, my guess is it will be very difficult to get fuel in the near future. And of course, we're down to 25 or 24 days of diesel from an average stockpile of about 100 days. So any kind of hiccup at all could drive prices through the roof. And of course, the only reason they're down now is all that fuel coming out of, or crude coming out of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. But that is probably over, what is it? The election's the 8th. So let's say the 8th at 9 p.m. or the 9th or the 10th. Probably won't shut off exactly like that, but my guess is a couple of days after the election. FFIV, which is F5 Networks, it was a loser out here today. It did go and test the previous low with a volume. It has bounced since then, so it's not quite as bad. I didn't get to Boeing, and I will in a minute. The reason why is they had a lot of comments about jet engine manufacturing. EQT. I don't think I said anything about that. Question about shorting Goldman Sachs. I never short those guys. They have a 100 ways to Sunday to manufacture news to blow you out of the trade. There's easier. Oh, okay, I had EQR. Oh, okay, thanks. Sorry about that. But the one, okay. And anyway, on General Electric, they talked a great deal about the ability to move planes, or actually deliver planes, was all limited, and the only people they could be talking about is General Electric. As we said, we thought that they were more of a major, or maybe a captain. Some people say cadet motors. But certainly Boeing did well on the initial news, but as they talked more and more, they talked themselves out of a good day. Did get to 150.14 as the high tick of the day, but again, when they pointed the finger, it was rather abrupt, and it is the problem they have is getting enough engines to deliver more 787s and others, but that's it. We talked about GLW. Nice little pop here yesterday. Not enough volume to do much. And General Motors, opposed to Cadet Electric, hard to tell. Up just a little on half the volume. Of course, one of the biggest losers in tech, and we will give it the loser horn for the day. Mostly because some of the other ones may be able to work themselves out of it. I don't see anything changing on Google. Down with 46 million shares, holding that low pretty much in the $95.27 low that had 33 million shares on October 13th. It doesn't look for the googly-eyed one. Will we turn?
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Come back. Question from Zach about ServiceNow, and that is with earnings out after the bell. Earnings tonight. So what do you have here? Well, I don't see a whole lot in it. Depends on probably what the market does, but I don't see anything in here that says it blows out the lows or goes much higher. And let's see what the short sellers are saying. Maybe there's enough shorts in this to get it going. I can find my program here and get it running. Take a quick look at it. Here we go. It's got some short action in it, but just 2.2 days to cover. It doesn't have a lot of juice at it, so if it does take off, there isn't much. Maybe something else is going on with it that I'm unaware of, but I'm not an expert on this stock. Energy was about the same as the way it was on the downside. If I was just looking at it on any other day, I don't see a lot of reasons to be involved with it. Maybe you know something more than I do on it. Okay. Let's go back to some of the other ones out here. Halliburton. Of course, there's just one thing to be in, and that is energy. Suicidal energy policy that the United States has now can only really go one way. And it probably would take 6 months to a year, even if we wanted to abandon the suicidal policy. Probably not a lot's going to happen on that. Other than it just go higher. It's hard to see. A lot of people talk themselves into ideas that in the cold light of day look rather silly. Did then for most people, but they couldn't see it. JetBlue, a nice little spike to 769. Can't see much else going on there. Juniper Networks did test the previous high, 4.7 million shares. It's not going to get enough to break through the August 25th high. So we can look at that. We did talk about Microsoft earlier. It was another one where the numbers weren't that bad. They kind of talked themselves. It was about $2 lower after earnings last night. Then it got to $4. And the more liners that came out, the worse it got. But that was about it. That was, I think, what I said yesterday would have been where you thought. I didn't think it had that much range in a day, but that's kind of it. Okay, other ones that we've been watching here, and that is PCAR, PCAR. Challenged the previous high with volume yesterday, but back in the trading range. PFC. Premier Financial. I don't see a lot in that one. RTX. Raytheon. Okay. Wasn't able to hold its high, though. We talked about SAP. A little bit more, but a breakout, got decent volume, and it's holding above the August 10th high. This is the Microsoft of Germany. What else do we have? SBSI. As we look at it real quick. Southside Bank shares. SKX. Skechers. Down a little bit. Of course, I think they already sold off on some of the other tennis shoe makers out there and sportswear makers that haven't been doing that much. A lot of volume today for not much in the way of prices, but we'll continue to look at that. Okay, Spotify, not a big surprise out here, slowly moving. I haven't seen one music company yet make a profit. They all tend to go around to different stuff like podcasts or news services or whatever. But not a big surprise to see Spotify lower. Okay. TCBK. Trico Bank shares. Don't know much about this one. Didn't actually trade much in the way of shares. Tenable Holdings. TENB. Nice pop on this one. Up through several gaps. And it's got some decent volume. TENB. Take a look at that one later. Teradyne. All I can think of every time, everything I hear Teradyne is Waterpik, because that was the Teradyne Waterpik. Growing up, the ads were anyway for Waterpiks. Nice day up here. Just got into the volume and kind of ran out of steam out of the gap lower. So I don't see there. TriNet. Well, this one gap lower. Doesn't have a lot of volume on that. I won't spend a lot of time on it. Trinity Industries, UHS, Universal Health Services, still doing well. I'm suspecting that a lot of these health service companies are going to start turning south as more and more elective surgery comes back, but it hasn't so much so far. UHS is the symbol on this one. Lots of volume, back up to the previous resistance levels at about 110. Visa, a lot of discussion about this one. As you said yesterday, it's hard to come up with a scenario where these guys don't do okay. They're talking about a great deal of action for people buying airline tickets, which means they're going to travel, which means they're going to use their Visa outside of normal use. And I think that was a lot of why this thing popped today. But tough to see it on the downside. Okay. See what else we have. VIST, V-I-S-T, Vista Energy. Again, if a stock's higher, you can make a pretty good bet that it is in energy. I like that. Nice big ABC on the way up. Encore Wire, back up here at the top. And of course, Xerox had one of the worst days it ever had. Actually coming back a little bit today, 1468 for the high. Had a lot of volume at $11.80 low. Probably going to get tested sooner rather than later. And what are we talking about here? Earnings calendar. Okay. Did I do waste management? I don't think I did. We'll do that. Question, does the market tend to sell off in the pre-window dressing period to aid in the window dressing pricing? I don't know if it's there. I think they just shake a bunch of people out. There's a few things going on. I think we have a nice setup for that to happen. I'm expecting the market to dip after the Mobileye IPO is out, and maybe an hour later, they'll probably back off supporting the market. Yeah, you normally get one good dip down before we get into fund buying, and that's where I hope to be a buyer. We'll be back in a minute.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
And Teladoc comes out after the bell, acting like a lot of these stocks, and that is it pushing into earnings. But we'll see whether or not these guys come back after that. Okay. See that. After the bell tonight also, ORLY. As we said yesterday, really starting to look and see how these used car parts, well, I guess you wouldn't need a new part for your new car. It would come with a part. So it's used car parts or existing or pre-owned car parts. Just kind of hovering up here. But we've seen a lot of discussion, and I keep on seeing these articles. I don't know if it's a short push, but certainly seems like it. And I know all the legal problems that Carvana has had delivering its titles for the cars that they've sold to folks. But a lot of people are saying that Carvana got a lot of cash up front from selling vehicles and haven't delivered the titles, and could blow out a lot of other folks in this industry on the failure to deliver those titles. Let's see what else we have here. GRMN. Not much happening there. Let's take a look and see what we've got tomorrow morning. Of course, well, this is not tomorrow morning, but it is after the bell tomorrow night. And that is the Apple-ish one, the fruit company. It is just hanging around in the mid gap. I don't see a lot of reasons to get too excited one way or the other on this. I wonder how many people are going to be throwing in and buying $1,500 for Christmas for a new iPhone. If they were, if you're rich, probably not a problem. Other than that, Amazon, as we said, probably not going to look that good on the back of both Microsoft and Google talking about challenges in its web services division and the associated get down there. Intel does have this IPO going. I don't think it really makes that much. I think it's all been kind of priced in. You're testing, at least today, the October 5th high in Intel. Then at 42.5 million shares, you got 32.5 now. You're nowhere close to holding it, so I don't think that. MasterCard probably very much like Visa, so it may be getting it already. Resistance is at that 338.93 high of September 12th on MasterCard. But I'd say dollars to donuts, unless the market falls totally apart. Looks like that could do it. Before the bell tomorrow, MasterCard, by the way, is before, and so is Caterpillar. Kind of interesting to see Caterpillar doing so well. It's basically up on fairly light volume, but just going into earnings, I won't say that means as much as many other things. You got a big W forming here. I don't know that it has the ability to go back up and fill all those gaps, but could be worse. McDonald's, what is that, before the bell tomorrow? Take a look at that. And let's see. You're just back up to resistance. This is this gap down from the 13th of September. A gap down on 2.6 million shares. Got about 2.1 so far today. You got to think that if they can keep the cost of food down a little bit, they may be okay. We got Shopify. Let's take a look at that real quick for Thursday morning. Yeah, just been going sideways out here. I certainly wouldn't want to be short. This thing is building steam to do something, and it could be, if they don't say something horrible, could be yet another run the shorts, because I think last time I looked, there were a bunch of shorts in there. Southwest Airline also before the bell. They're selling every seat they can. Question is just, are people piling on this one short, and could they get squeezed? I didn't see a lot of airline shorts last time I looked, though, either. International Paper. Generally don't play this one, but I do like it as a canary in the coal mine. It tells you just how much is going on for packaging. When business is expanding, people are ordering more and more packaging. This has just been in a sideways trend range, really back to, about the 22nd or 23rd of September that you've been going sideways. So see if there's anything else out there. Now, Friday we've got what I'm really interested in, and that is the energy companies, because I think they're going to continue to do well. You are basically already over the previous high that was being tested, the June 8th high with Exxon. Looks good. I guess you're going to get more money volume on Friday. Hard to come up with a scenario where these guys aren't doing well. To CSV, is that right? CVX. Chevron, of course, also Friday morning. All these are just hanging out at the highs waiting for earnings. So I don't see that there's a lot of reasons to not think energy continues to do well and discontinues on. Jinko Solar, Gentex. I don't see much going on there. Okay, got a few questions to go back and look at the usual suspects. And in that case, it is Advanced Micro Devices. You're just in the inside. NVIDIA is having some more troublesome news as of late on the video cards, but doesn't really look like it's affecting it much. Just going sideways in this gap. Decent volume, but again, I don't see a lot out here that says to get too excited one way or the other. Let's see here. And see. That's it. Okay, we're going to break. When we come back, we'll wrap it all up for another episode. And Tom's in the wings, getting ready to do his show. So we'll wrap this up here in a few minutes. And that's it.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And as we get ready to wrap up the show here, we're looking at the S&P's down about 25 points. Not surprised. I have kind of a theory or scenario here. That is that the markets have been kind of held up a bit for this IPO. That'll start trading tomorrow morning about 10:30, 11. Generally, they'll hold the market up for a little while, and then they kind of back off. We probably need a little dip. We're going to get into fund buying next week, so it'll wash everybody else out, and then probably come back with a markup for fund buying all of next week. So, yeah, I'm thinking a little bit of an air pocket, then an opportunity to buy. There's just not a lot of risk reward to the upside or down now. So I need to be very patient and sit on my hands and wait for an opportunity, and that would come in the form of a move lower on lighter volume and maybe back to support for a couple of these stocks. A little tougher on the indexes, but for picking the actual levels. But I think we probably get something either late Thursday or Friday that sets up some kind of tradable low. That's kind of it. We want to look at the volume. We really didn't talk much about it today, but it was good. we're already doing 8.8 billion shares. So the volume on the upside has been good. Doesn't mean that we're going to go straight up or straight down in either bear or bull market. But today's volume was good on the push higher. And of course, we're really having a problem when that is a car with one flat tire. That is certainly the semiconductors and tech part of the market. But that can turn around too. Sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible.